Alright guys, so today we'll go over what to do to fix the Warzone stuttering issues and to get a lot more FPS out of your system. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on Windows side of things. Get over here to the search bar and type in CMD. Run this as administrator, and we're gonna perform a SystemProfile check integrity checker command, which is SFC scan now. So this process takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Let it run, and once it's complete, if it did find issues, it will correct them. Once it's complete and it did correct the issues for you guys, make sure you reboot your system, and we'll go from there. All right, so as you can see, I didn't have this issues because I've already completed this process. So the next step is we're gonna run another scan that looks for corruptions within the operating system and tries to correct them. And we'll type in the following command, and the links to both of these commands will be in the video description. So we'll run this, and this process takes about another 2 to 3 minutes. Again, once it's complete, make sure you reboot your PC, and we'll go from there. All right, so yeah, once this scan is complete, you'll get a successful message here. And don't worry guys, you're not gonna lose any of your files. Just now that you've rebooted your system, you're gonna next make sure you update your Windows. I've already done this, but you just click on that and make sure your Windows is fully up to date. And once that is complete, type in run and then temp%temp. What this will do is all the temporary files that are storing up into your hard drive, it's a big clutter, so just plus Control A, select all, and hit delete, and it will erase whatever it can, and whatever is needed, just leave it as is and just click skip. The next step would be to type in disk and go to disk cleanup. Select the C drive and delete all of the following. Select all of the following files here and click OK. And this should take roughly, depending on your system, maybe about a minute. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna type in here adjust the appearance of and Windows performance. You guys will basically just select best performance and then custom, and then select smooth edges for screen fonts, and then show thumbnails instead of icons. Click apply. What this will do, it will free up memory usage from Windows, which will be applied towards the gaming, obviously. Yeah, so once that's done, click OK. The next step is we're going to type in display settings. We're gonna come into personalization, backgrounds. Make sure you select a solid or a picture, and then we'll go back one step. Then we're gonna go to colors. I like dark mode. Those of you who are on laptop, this actually helps a lot with the battery life. Turn off all transparency effects. You don't need it. It's just taking up resources. So we'll go back another step, and then we're gonna go to privacy, and then so privacy, and then general, and I've turned off and left only these two. So read them carefully. It's just we're going through deep loading the Windows 11. After that, for speech, I've turned it all off. I don't need any sort of speech recognition. If you do, leave them on. I don't need it. And then after that, we're gonna scroll down here to location. I've only left certain items here that, for example, weather. I'd like to know how the day is going and whatnot. So basically just left those as needed and try to turn off as much things as possible. After that, you go to camera. I don't need my camera for anything, so I leave it off, but those of you who use it for certain software, just turn it on and uncheck whatever is needed. I'll go one more step back, and for microphone, I've only left the microphone for things where I need them, and everything else I've turned them off. All right, so we're gonna go back a couple of steps and go back to system. Then we're gonna check notifications and make sure these two options are off. They're just taking up more resources. Scroll down to where it says set priority notification. Turn those off, or leave them on if you need them, but I don't use VoIP calling, so it's just Windows taking up more resources. I've turned them off. Next, we're gonna come here and type in storage. Then make sure storage sense is left on. This is a good setting that constantly deletes temporary files and automatically frees space, so it's good to have. So once that's done, we're gonna go and right click on BattleNet and select properties, and under compatibility, we're gonna make sure that this is the run as administrator is checked on. I've already done so do that. After that, on your Call of Duty shortcut, we'll do the same. Go to properties, compatibility, and make sure to disable full screen optimization and run this program as an administrator. All right, so just before we jump into the Call of Duty changes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come here, type in control panel. We're gonna look for power options, and I recommend that you go on to the ultimate performance plan, as it will give you the best performance. So if you don't see this for the ultimate performance plan, don't worry. For those of you who are on the laptop, high performance is what I highly recommend. But those of you with desktop PCs and a decent system, you may want to run the ultimate. And if you don't see it here, what we're gonna do is we will put that down. We're gonna go into command again, and we're gonna run that as an administrator, and we're gonna type in the following command. Link to this will be in the description, and once you typed all that in, click enter, and it will enable the power plan, as you can see here. All right, so once you've select the ultimate performance plan, the next thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on choose what the power buttons do, and then we're gonna turn on fast startup. This is not needed, and it will screw up, give you more problems than anything. So basically, as you can see, you cannot select anything, so just click on change settings that are currently unavailable, and then uncheck, and then click save changes. So we're gonna type in run again, and this time we're gonna go into regedit. All right, so once we're in the registry editor, we're gonna come here, and you guys are gonna go to computer, H key, local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, CurrentVersion, Multimedia, and then SystemProfile. And once you get there, it's gonna look something like this. So we're gonna go into double click on the network throttling. Change this to exactly 7 Fs and make sure you're in hexadecimal, and then select OK. I've already done this, so I don't need to do that. Once that is complete, click on games, and then we'll go to GPU priority. Make sure it's in hexadecimal, and make the value into 8. And then finally, we're gonna go to the scheduling category, and you'll probably see a medium. Make sure you type in high with a H, capital H, and then click OK. So I've already done this. Once you guys have done this, we're going to update. So we'll close out of this, and then we're going to update our NVIDIA graphics card drivers. So you'll come here, and sorry, not here, drivers. Mine is up to date. I'm on the studio version of NVIDIA driver 536.99. This is by far been the best driver that's given me the best FPS and no issues. So all right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into File Explorer. We're gonna click on find the directory of where we installed Call of Duty. In my case, it's in the C drive, program 86 files. Then we're gonna go to Call of Duty Retail, and we're gonna copy this folder, Control C, or just click on this icon, and we're going to paste it. Select right click on there, and you're gonna show more options, and you're gonna paste as a shortcut. So, and then you're gonna see the little shortcut icon. Once you're in here, plus Control A, and then delete everything. We won't need it, and we're going to restart the shaders once we make some changes into our NVIDIA control panel. All right, so before we get into the NVIDIA control panel, we're going to have to make another change to the registry files. So we're going to type in run, and then choose regedit, and then we're going to type in the following location, computer. We're going to look for HK local machine system, CurrentControlSet services, and nvlddmkm FTS. The link to this will, all the stuff that I'm providing you guys will be in the video description. So when you're there, just click enter, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to look for enable GR535. You guys will see a value of 1, just to make sure you're on hexadecimal, and change it to a 0, and then click OK. I've already done this. What this does is it enables the what NVIDIA used to have in the control panel. I'll show you guys. It used to be image sharpening, so this enables that. And I find that this gives me the best FPS and a very crisp game when I'm playing Call of Duty. So normally you would see here image scaling, but now that we have put a value of 0, we should see image sharpening. So under manage 3D settings, just don't do it in the global settings. Come here to program settings, and then you're gonna find Call of Duty. So we're gonna look for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022, and if you don't, just go here, click on add, and then browse, and then you're gonna look for so mine is installed in the C drive. We're gonna look for Call of Duty, and then data? No. Yeah. And then we're going to click on COD application right here. We're going to select it, click open, and it will put it there. But I've already done this, so I'm not going to do that. And once it's there, it'll be closer to the top. And you're going to select image sharpening, double click here, and then turn it on. And this is my settings that I have. And do not touch film grain. I'll leave it as is. Just increase this value to 0.67 and then click OK. And then you will see an apply button and then click apply. All right, so I'm going to back to global settings. So I'll scroll down slowly, try to copy the control panel settings that I have, as it will help you guys get the best performance value on your for your gaming. All right, and once you make the following changes, make sure to click apply, and then we're going to go to the next step. Go to configure physics, make sure you select your processor, and then click apply. Then we're going to check for change resolution. If you find your PC somewhere here under Ultra HD, just scroll down and then select the appropriate your monitor display, and make sure you select the appropriate hertz here. Now your guys might be set on color default, but use NVIDIA color settings. Make sure you pick the highest available color output depth, 10 or 8. I have 10 available, so I'm going to pick that. RGB, and then full, and then make sure you click apply. Keep the changes. From here, we're gonna scroll down to the color settings. So I find that I don't touch the top, but I find that the colors are not the game. Especially Warzone is not very colorful. So I turn up the digital vibrance to 85%, and I select number 3, and make sure you click apply. So then we're going to go to G-Sync, and if your monitor is G-Sync capable, make sure you enable for both window and full screen mode, and then just click apply. And finally, for the under the color settings with NVIDIA settings, and you want to go to advanced and make sure that the dynamic range is not set to limited, it's set to full, and make sure you click apply. Next thing we want to check is we're going to type in here game mode settings. Make sure you turn game mode on, and then graphics, and make sure Call of Duty is set to high. So you're going to select here. If you don't see it, you have to browse and go to program files, and then you're going to click Call of Duty, retail, COD, and then click add. And once that's done, make sure you click options and use high performance, and do not use optimization in the game mode. So click on save. All right, so now we're going to change a couple of things in the Call of Duty config files. So we're going to click on File Explorer, Documents, Call of Duty, Players, and then we're going to open up options 3 COD 22. And then if you press Control F, we can search for async and click enter. So I know there's a lot of videos out there that recommend turning this to false. If you have a lower end system, I recommend leaving it on false, but for higher end PCs, do not change this. It will completely screw up your game. Stutters and whatnot, random crashes. So leave that on true. Do not don't change it. So the next thing we're going to look at is a worker render count. This is the number of cores that is on in your processor. I have an i7 12700K, so if I launch the task manager and go to performance under CPU, I have 12 physical cores. We don't look at the logical processor cores. So when I ran this at the total number of cores, I did not see a performance improvement. So I've lowered mine to an 8, and that gives me the best performance and highest FPS. And as for everything else, leave it the same, and make sure you go File, Save, and then back out. All right, once we're in the in-game, as you guys can see, because we deleted all the shader cache before, we're seeing that it's going to build the new shader cache, which is what we want. Just wait in the screen and wait for it to complete, and once it's completed, we're gonna go into the graphics settings. So under display here, gonna make sure that we are set to full screen exclusive. Make sure your appropriate monitor is selected, your GPU, and the highest refresh rate. I have a LG 48C1, sort of a TV and a monitor combo with G-Sync and whatnot. So the highest refresh rate available to me is about 120 Hertz. So I click the highest one that's available. I like to play the game in 1440p, so I have option to go higher, but I find it's the best sweet spot for me. So I select that. Dynamic resolution, leave it off. It's not worth it. Aspect screen ratio, leave it to automatic. Turn VSync gameplay off. Turn the menu off. As for custom frame rate, leave it on custom, and with the following values. Eco mode is this new option they added in the recent season 5 update. I don't think I need it. It just reduces my power consumption. I don't want to be eco-friendly. I want the highest performance, so I usually turn it off. And then since I'm playing on a LG TV, I've selected 2.4 BT. Those of you who are on a monitor, you would select a 2.2 sRBG. Do not touch the brightness and the in-game. You're better off doing it on your TV. I don't play with that. I leave that on automatic, and then we're gonna go into quality. As for quality, I pick my resolution, make sure it's at 100%. The upscaling image sharpening, because we have turned on image sharpening and NVIDIA control panel, I find this is the best by leaving it off. But for those of you who also want to try another next best option, I would recommend going to Fidelity Cast and then click X and leave it at 60%, as this is the next best option available. I don't use it anymore. I've been very happy using the NVIDIA image sharpening. So that I find the SMA T2X, especially with the recent updates to Call of Duty, it gives me the best picture and higher FPS, so I use that. But for those of you who are kind of bothered by some of the film grain around the character's nose and whatnot, I would recommend going to Filmic, but I'm okay with that, so I leave it on SMA T2X. For anti-aliasing, leave it on normal. It's the best setting. Low will make your game look like dog shit, and normal is the sweet spot. As for video memory scale, if you come back here and launch into where is it now? Benchmark. So we're gonna run this benchmark. So we can get the value of how much this game is using of our VRAM. By doing this, it will give us the value. Before all the updates, is getting about 160, maybe 130 frames, and after those, now okay, so once this test is complete, it'll give us some values. So as you can see, the VRAM that I'm using out of my on my 4090 is, I think, 24 gig, so I'm only using 29% of my VRAM, total VRAM. This is why I have left my graphics settings video memory scale to 50. I'm hardly using anything here. So so yeah, run the test, the benchmark, and you'll get your video memory scale, and then set it accordingly. Texture resolution, leave it on high. Anisotropic, high. Nearby level details, high. Distant level details, high. Clutter distance, you can leave it long or short. I like long. These values makes your game look very good. Anything for a bit lower end systems, I would try normal, but for powerful system, leave it on high. So yeah, particle quality low, particle quality level, I leave it on normal. Bullet impacts, I like to see them as I test weapons for recoil when I'm in the tuning and gunsmith, so I leave that on. Persistent damage layers, turn it off, you don't need it. Shader quality, medium, and for those of you who are on a lower system, I would recommend low. High is not worth it. Tessellation off, on-demand texture streaming off, streaming quality low, volumetric quality low, deferred physics quality off, water quality default, shadow map resolution low, screen space shadows off, spot shadow quality low, spot cache, leave this on ultra, as this will get rid of the stutters. This is known to cause stutters, so I leave it on ultra. Particle lighting, I leave on normal. Ambient occlusion off. Screen space reflections off. Static reflection quality low. Weather grid, I don't care about the weather. This is an FPS game, so I just turn that off. Depth of field off. World motion blur off. Weapon motion blur off, and the field game to 0. And I find that the best field of view where I'm getting less visual recoil, I find the best is around 108 to 110. I use ADS field of view on affected, weapon field of view on wide. Third person is no longer here, but I left it at 90. But this is also right here is the most important thing. The first person camera movement, you want this to be on the least. So do not leave it on less or default. Least is the best option. So yeah, once this is done, we just want to do one more time, because now we have changed the graphics. We want to one more time to come back here and restart our shader optimization, and then we will delete everything in the shader cache that we placed in the desktop folder and restart the game, let the new shader optimizations kick in, and that is going to give you the best crisp game, as well as no stutters and high FPS. So yeah, once the game launches, as you can see, now that the new shader optimization is building up, we'll let that finish, and then I'll launch into a game to show you guys how smooth the game runs now, so you guys can see for yourself.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Here's smooth. Alright guys, so the last thing is, every time this game updates, you'll see an update bar go up here. That is when I come here and I just delete all the shaders, and so as we play the game, the new shaders launch. Just keep that in mind, and that's it. I hope this video helped you guys a lot, and if you guys like what you see, and just subscribe and hit the notification button for more videos to follow.